Stand here, McCoys, and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we get into the campaigns of Howl's, Harrows, and a fond, happy Thanksgiving to all the people who happen to be celebrating it today. At least I know I'm going to be. Hopefully everybody's going to have a wonderful evening of turkey and football, or whatever your regional equivalent may end up being. Or maybe it's just going to be a perfectly fine Thursday, to which you have my sincerest hope that you have the best of times. Alrighty, so we have managed to get our avatar. It is not fully built. It is 2 days away from being built, and I would have went along for those 2 days if it wasn't 2 days before the end of the month and we were in major debt. So we need to get out of debt, but I can't resist taking a fairly phenomenal amount of parts contract when I'm staring at what I'm looking at. So for today, corporate secrets. A scientist for the Tortugan conglomerate has turned industrial spy for a rival corporation for the locals. She was privy to numerous industrial secrets, and we prefer not to have fall into our competitor's hands. The local government leadership has offered her to sell her back, but we intend to use the false hope of negotiations to buy time for you to extract the scientist through more proactive means. This will be a 417 priority salvage, 147,200 Seables at 3.5 skulls. So let's drop in on them and say hi. Today we get to drop down with a grand total of 7 mechs. We are so close to getting that final 8 mechs, but we need a lot more cash in order to do that, which stealing lots of parts is hopefully going to provide. There is enemy facilities off here in the distance, but today we have brought Finn in the Catapult 3 with a pair of MML-20s capable of shutting down a single mech on his own. Paradox in the Lament, which is just massive amounts of PPCs. Jester in the Warhammer, which is a little bit of an odd setup, but hey, the Warhammer is all the rage right now that all of the big major YouTubers have returned to heavy metal to show off its awesomeness. We've been playing with ours for a little while now, and it has proven to be a versatile platform. Howl, of course, in her Timberwolf with the twin Gauss rifles and a whole bunch of medium lasers for the ultimate excellence. The only thing missing is a pair of ears, but other than that, it's a phenomenal Timberwolf. Death Crusade in the Gladiator, one of our oldest mech designs at this point. This Gladiator is solid, reliable, and powerful, equipped with no less than 2 Snubnose PPCs and a pair of MML-10 missile launchers. Mockingbird in the other Catapult 3, which happens to be equipped with a whole bunch of lasers, 4 large pulse lasers, and a light tag, just for giggles. It used to have a couple of Battle Armor AMSs. Unfortunately, they were swapped in a recent update. And then Coach finally in the Burner Boy, which is a mech that has died so many times that I kind of can't really field it feeling confident. But hey, with all that out of the way, let us get underway and see if we can't run into the enemy and annihilate them before they quite know what's going on. So far, we're staring at a pair of local government support lances, so we're looking at between 8 and 12 mechs currently on the field, unless reinforcements are already here, in which case we may actually be looking at 16 mechs on the field to challenge our 7. We are 1 upgrade away from being able to field 8, and then 2 upgrades in total away from being able to field 8 and control 8, and a few more upgrades out of the way before we can field 8, control 8, and field enough tonnage in order to fill those slots. And with a couple of our really heavy mechs coming online, we're going to need that tonnage. There is a restriction on how much weight you can drop down when you first begin a campaign. And so this sort of feeds more into that because you have to upgrade your brand new Guthead Leopard with a couple of engine upgrades so it can carry even more weight to actually drop your entire company. I think we have 2 upgrades on that, so that brings us up an additional 100 tons. There are 4 in total, so for the grand total of 200 additional tons or 400 additional tons? You can field 2 full assault lances if you want, I believe. So 800 tons in total, I think. So continuing to push forward with the Lament, still nothing on sensors. We may actually be able to cross this river unmolested. In fact, we may even be able to get all the way up here and shoot down, which for some mechs is not actually ideal. The Lament is capable of actually brawling should it feel the need to, because ERPPCs have no minimum range. But on the other hand, Howl would very much prefer to keep the range a little bit arm's length because she is equipped with a pair of Gauss rifles, which have a fairly large minimum range. So it is one of our better mechs in terms of just penetrating through and providing enough firepower to just break any target that we have in half. But it is something that we kind of want to keep at distance, even though it has 6 additional medium lasers to support. I thought about going ER medium lasers, but I figured the temperatures just would not really support that. Although it'd be really cool to imagine being able to chunk on 3 more ER medium lasers, just sit back at maximum range as you just fill them full of so many holes that they don't quite know what's going on. It's great. Or at least that's the thought. Gladiator, on the other hand, designed very much for close-range brawling. The snub-nosed PPCs have no minimum range and deal an astonishing amount of damage. They're basically PPC shotguns, and, well, Heavy Metal, Hairbrain's most recent patch, has determined that PPC shotguns means literal PPC shotguns in terms of lobbing multiple projectiles at someone. RogueTech keeps it a little bit more accurate to what it should be in tabletop, which has always been kind of the preference of us, because we enjoy that more accurate to tabletop feel. Which is not a bad thing, but it is a very interesting thing. If you're trying to create a unique weapon system that fires in a very interesting way, well, they managed to basically make an LBX that has no ammunition and takes a lot of heat. But hey, it's cool. It has a star pattern that it fires out in. And I imagine that they're doing absolutely phenomenally with. We've been checking out so many more people. One of my favorite YouTubers to watch, just when I'm trying to relax, is Quill18, and he's been returning to RogueTech, which I thought was pretty interesting. I haven't had time to watch his stuff, but... or at least not his RogueTech content. I've been currently watching his Korea playthrough of Europa Universalis. I really kind of want to hit you with that, but I also kind of want to steal you because you're a great 75 Thunder. But he has returned. Baradul has moved over to doing RogueTech, which is cool. We're seeing a couple more people on the streams, so more folks getting involved in BattleTech, which is amazing. Oh, we're starting to gain traction again. So I'm feeling really happy about that. No good target for that ER Lars laser, unfortunately, so the Roughneck is going to sit there. He is equipped with a couple of ballistics and missiles. We're dealing with a Roughneck, a Bandit, a Catapult, and a Grand Summoner. My old nemesis returned. Okay, I think about the Grand Summoner, because I think the Grand Summoner will sell for better, so please enjoy my PPCs. Some nice solid twin hits on that target, and the Roughneck is already in a little bit of pain. We could probably knock him out relatively quickly. We just need to put in enough firepower in order to break him. He does have a case on board, which does make life a little bit more difficult. A little bit of long-range counterfire coming in on the Lament, but no really major connections. It is a 60-ton mech, so it's not exactly the largest and most well-equipped thing, but triple PPCs give it some serious punch. Mockingbird is not going to have the target that we want, even though it would be really cool, so we're just going to rush the Gladiator on forward, who still is a reasonable accuracy shot. Managed to nail him with a snub-nosed BPC, even from the long-ish range that we were looking at. Coach and the Burner Boy, yeah, both of our torching mechs are probably not going to be super useful in this current engagement, so we're just going to rush on forward, keep them in cover, provide electronic countermeasure support. That's a third of the whole deal around it. Alright, I forgot, you're actually my pulse laser catapult, so we'll get you in the water for the extra control, and you know what, I'm going to actually get a Warlord this, so go for the 20%, we're firing a whole bunch of shots, let's see if we can just get a couple of good connections on target, see if we can't break something. One hit, that's a connection, we can work with that. Probably should have laid a sensor lockdown on the Roughneck just to make it easier on everybody else's life, but that'll be fine. The Roughneck is under fire, however, it is under fire on the left side, which is the missile side, and it's a Vulture. Oh, this became much more difficult. Nidhogg gunship. Nidhogg gunship. Right. Okay, the battle has changed its tempo. So we're dealing with a Vulture, a Grand Summoner, 2 Nidhogg gunships. The Roughneck has suddenly become significantly less important on my list of things that I care about. I mean, I'm going to kill it because it's currently out in the open, but that is not good. I'm going to lay down some accurate fire onto the target, and hopefully 32%. Swarm him with some missiles, see if he can handle it. Come on, blow up something. Well, we took out an arm. So he no longer has is equipped with an arm, which I don't believe has anything on board anyway. It might have a machine gun. Oh, it did have a machine gun. And an SRM. Oh, we took out the whole torso. I didn't realize that. Nidhogg gunship coming up forward is a dangerous opponent. Generally very well equipped with anti-missile defense systems, as well as other terrifying stealth systems, which make it incredibly hard to hit. And then they come rounding that out with some sort of weapon package, which tends to be really dangerous. Things from Risk Rack 5s. Great steals, by the way. Heavy Gauss rifles. Normal Gauss rifles. A metric ton of bombs, which can make Nidhogg gunships very, very unpleasant to have to fight. So if you can kill them early, do that as fast as you can. Don't know if this is a small or large catapult. I do think this is an actual full-size catapult, so 65 tons at least. Oh, you are the pirate version, which has, I believe, a pirate rotary autocannon, as well as a whole bunch of chafflers. The Roughneck stepping up forward, going to fire with his AC-10, managed to nail the Gladiator. Ooh, 42 damage, that's an AC-10, is it? Unless I'm bulwarked. Do you have an AC-10? Oh, it's an AC-5, okay. 42 damage. Nidhogg gunship coming up forward as well. So both of the Nidhoggs are now presenting themselves, which makes life a little bit less pleasant to have to deal with. Hopefully Howl will be able to get some accurate fire on some of these targets. However, I kind of don't think she's going to be able to do it. It's going to be pretty rough as we move forward. If I can just have a turn or two away from you guys. The Galon, I'm not really all that worried about, and I think you're a block. You tend to be blocked. Lament's about to take a whole bunch of long-range missile fire and get hit once. Feeling very happy about that. So Lament not really caring about the incoming damage because he has it under control. Jester in your Warhammer. Actually, Howl. Howl, you tend to put big holes in things first, so let's see what you have in terms of targets. A 12% and a 35%. He does have a Rack 10 Pirate equipped with a whole bunch of bombs that we really don't want to have to face. I'm going to sprint on forward, see if I can get a little bit better accuracy on this rough. It got worse. I am going to warlord it. We're going to see if I can't hurt this roughneck enough to make him die. I missed both times. I was kind of expecting it, but I had the briefest of hopes. Alright, that means Jester can now start sprinting on into range. He'll be able to get no cover, which is very helpful. And 4%, 24%. I'll fire the Silver Bullet House in normal mode. Missing both times. So that roughneck is going to survive. We've got to go up the mountain and get through his electronic countermeasure, which I imagine is getting quite bad with all the incoming Nidhogg's. Condor Mark 20 or Mark 2B coming on in. I hope he doesn't have a line of sight, but he may actually have just crested the hill enough to be able to shoot down on us. He is going to give the Lament a little bit of long-range indirect fire, so he didn't actually get fully around the hill. Still no good solid connections unless he's dropping mines on us. Light Mortar Carrier, on the other hand, is going to be irritating because he can do lots of nasty things, although I think he managed to bomb himself for the most part, which is very helpful. If the enemy keeps bombing themselves, then our lives will be a lot easier than they otherwise might be. But fighting our way up this hill is going to be an exercise in challenge. That's for certain. We got to get several of our mechs in a lot closer so we can start dealing more solid, reliable damage. I need to get a couple of better long-range fire supports, although the Lament and the Timberwolf are fairly solid at the job. Should I be able to just get a good set? Oh no, it's a Warrior. It's not even a block. Okay, Warriors tend to be pretty trashy. They're supposed to be like the in-universe equivalent of like an Apache or a Cobra gunship, but they're not. They're pretty awful, actually. They tend to be equipped either with a single autocannon or generally light missile armament. They're not all that good, and I can basically ignore him for the entirety of the battle. The only mech that I really care about, well, the only VTOLs I care about are those two Nidhogg gunships, and that hasn't changed my mind. In general, I really can't think of a vehicle that's more dangerous than the Nidhogg gunship, honestly. At 45 tons, it is a monster because it is incredibly mobile and super hard to hit. Lament about to take a little bit more fire, but the Warrior wasn't able to connect, doesn't have good enough sensors in order to handle the problems that we are sending his way. He mentally cannot cope and comprehend what it is we have sent towards him. And so he fails. So I've just realized that my next couple of mechs coming up are all close range. I'm going to have to look for a mech to build towards long range. The Catawacker exists, but it's only 55 tons. I'm going to need a heavy mech that can a little bit more assist at hyper long range shots. Bandit moving slightly off the side, going to open fire on the Catapult, getting a couple of solid hits and spreading the love. Infernos no less, which is less than enjoyable. Hopefully I'll have a really good shot and be able to tear him apart in one titanic salvo. Somebody's moving on 30. 30 and 25. The Gallant also going to open fire, long-range weapons, managing to touch off the Lament, but again, nothing too serious so far. But all this damage does start to add up pretty gosh darn quick. If you were to stand still and shoot, you'd have a 60% on the Bandit, a 72% on the Roughneck, and that's all you can see. I'm going to Warlord this one to go for the maximum damage I can to see if I can't kill this Roughneck in one round of shooting, because I don't want to deal with him anymore.
Now let's see how you handle this.
He managed to miss 2 shots, which is really unfortunate. The Lament is about to get shot a lot. Alright, I have Finn who can move forward in his Catapult too, and if Finn could actually get a decent line of sight on a couple of different things, we could get some really interesting work done, but I doubt it's going to happen. Could aim at the Warrior, terrible accuracy, yeah, alright accuracy. That's actually reasonable when tailing with Nidhogg gunships. But the Roughneck is the thing that's got to die. How's your center torso? You are very almost dead, so give him both barrels and see if you can't rip him apart. There we go. Roughneck's offline. That's 25% of the initial supporting lance. So that's a fairly solid chunk of the enemy fire down. So Howl can move in to focus on other things. Mainly, most likely, this little jerk who decided to get in our way. 32% lobbed 2 shells. Did we kill... We killed something. Did you seriously kill the... She killed a Nidhogg by accident. Oh, Howl. Now that's what we're looking for. Howl coming in with the fire, not actually aiming for the target, and still managed to nail it with a solid hit, and that tore apart the first of the Nidhogg gunships. Oh, that is a huge turn of the tides. Now you are a absolute nightmare of dangerous weapon systems. We're going to lob all of our fire into you as well, and no real hits at all. But that Nidhogg gunship is now on notice because it's our primary target. It has been sent select, which sort of helps us out a little bit, take control. But a lot of his problem right now is going to be the sheer speed at which he moved in order to sort of shed all of his problems to deal with us. But yeah, Roughnecks out and Nidhogg gunship out, but the Nidhogg gunships are not part of the sort of open salvo of targets, so they are not actually listed up here. But yeah, that was the best possible result that could have happened from that. Hadn't planned it, but you know what? I ain't exactly gonna look it in the mouth on that one. Sprint on forward. Can I get a shot? I can't. Oh, I would love if my pulse lasers could have had a shot to shoot at those Nidhoggs. Unfortunately, it was not to be. However, we can give some love to the bandit. Oh, and that's a lovely amount of hits, and his fire fist has exploded. The mag is offline. His incendiary ammunition, of which he apparently had a lot, is no longer a concern. I can now sprint on forward. And how are you in terms of just health? I think you're mostly dead. So I'm just going to rush on up here. Oh yeah, your head is almost barbecue. So here's the plan. I can't multi-target, unfortunately. What's my accuracy problems? Weapon actually started by... Oh, it didn't actually move all that far. Huh, interesting. I would love to try and barbecue you, but unfortunately you're basically at full health, and I'm instead going to see if I can't kill this guy. I may actually be able to murder him in one round of shooting. So, yeah. Oh shoot, I didn't Inferno it properly. Bail out, pilot? No, he's not going to bail out. Not from that. He'll have to wait a turn while being on fire. So the Nidhogg gunships are going to move at an unknown rate because of their advanced stealth systems. It can be very difficult to judge exactly when they're going to get on the move, but we will know soon. Grand Summoner stepping on forward, going to start opening fire, I imagine, on the Burner Boy. Oh wow, what was that? Okay, Burner Boy's in trouble.
My internals are taking a beating.
Okay, phew, it's just an arm.
Lose an arm over
By just an arm, I mean, that sucks that it's an arm, but at least it's not... Or at least it's not a side torso, because the side torso open already would mean that we were in a lot of trouble. This Grand Summoner, though, I'm wanting to get more and more now. I mean, there is a Vulture back there, but a Grand Summoner would be a nice pickup for us. So we could basically have both of... Well, Aiden Pride never drove a Grand Summoner, he only drove the Summoner, but it would be a really nice grab. I need to kill this Nidhogg, though. This Nidhogg is going to cause all kinds of havoc. It's not just because of its maneuverability and its generally terrifying weapons package. Nidhoggs also have some really good electronic countermeasure gear. Because of that, they tend to jam everybody in radius, making it almost impossible to actually have a good duel against the enemy at medium-ish ranges. You have to close everything to point blank, and that becomes just a nightmare solution of being, well, traveling through lots of fire, both literal and figuratively. We're going to continue to sprint on forward, see if we can't get some... I'm not super happy with shooting sort of over the head of everybody. It's got a mag shot cannon, some SPPZ, and a lot of rockets. We got to put that thing down. If it has an opportunity to fire, we are going to be in a world of hurt. I don't know what we hit, but we hit something. Did we hit you? His coolant is attempting... he's got a radical prototype double heatsink kit. He's attempting to get that temperature under control. That did hit your center, your front and center. I think nobody gets shot in the back, right? Just a quick check. Gladiator's good. Burner Boy is solid, aside, of course, from his exposed arm, which nobody's quite all that happy about. So good shooting from the Warhammer so far. I might be able to get a solid follow-up on that. Catapult gonna open fire on the Timberwolf with AoE. Is that AoE Inferno or just AoE?
Barely hit, Commander.
Yeah, just some AoE. Did a good job of that. I was expecting him to shoot the Lament. And mortars mostly affecting themselves. However, the Burner Boy did take a single solitary hit on that one. But yeah, we're going to be very careful of this Grand Summoner. We're going to try and have to torch him soon. The Drillson heavy hover tank is zipping off to the back. Does not show any interest in engaging immediately off the bat. However, it looks like we're done for the phase. So we have to wait until the next round, which is dangerous. And the Vulture popping up over the corners and about to open fire. Was it a heavy Lars laser? Did you just shoot at me with a heavy Lars laser? He's unsetting his loss of the face. That's a very bad place for an Omni-Mech with an IS engine. Oh, this is going to be painful. Gotta get the Burner Boy out of there. Twin Ballistic Energy. Yeah, I think that was a heavy large laser. Finn in the Catapult. Paradox in the Lament.
Standing by.
This Catapult has got to get very close to a target in very short order. But do you see the Grand Summoner? Obstructed, obstructed. Come on, give me a direct. Show me direct. It's not going to be direct, unfortunately. But I can kind of work with that. I'm not eager to work with that, but I can. Alright, so not you. Ooh. Tempting. Very tempting. Show me the Grand Summoner. 40%. And I'm going to have to use Infernos. It's a 42% per Ultra Autocannons. But I also need to shoot down this thing. Not you, but you. Yeah, if you get an opportunity to fire, you're going to just annihilate me. Could go with acid on this one. I think we'll go acid. Because the acid will burn through his armor really quick, and his internals are a little less. So hit him with everything. Okay, he's down. We don't have to deal with the AoE rocket spam. Alright, so both of those are out. Hopefully that's going to support us a little bit more as we try and push on forward. And we've got one of the tanks moving up. Yeah, the jammer just completely shutting down on everything, which is great. That'll help us a considerable amount. We can now move the Lament on forward. And I'm going to push rather hard, actually, for a strike on this one. So the Lament's going to try and stand in the line of fire. Oh, unfortunately, his accuracy on the target that I want to... Streak of ML's large X pulse. That's what we're dealing with. Fire. Oh, managed to nail the target already. Missed by negative 3%, which is always enjoyable to see. Keep sprinting on forward. See if I can't get some good lines of sight with the Catapult 3 now that there's no jamming. You're dealt with. You are going to be a little bit of a pain. How much do I need left to deal with you? Pretty much all of your center torso still exists. But you're not going to turn on for a little while. So I'm going to ignore you for a bit. When you turn back on, life is going to be pain. But for now, target acquired. Coach, right. The Burner Boy doesn't quite want to be here. And I will Vigilance initially to start out. That opens up all of my maneuverability options, which we desperately need. We need to keep this mech on the move and quick. The left is already pretty badly damaged. We take some really nasty hits from that mech. And I'd like to get a line of sight on this target that doesn't also include you. Can I please? If I push super hard on him, what am I dealing with in terms of catapult? You look to be a primitive catapult. I'm gonna push it.
10-4.
Hi. I've come with the hope and the desire to absolutely barbecue you with everything I've got. This might be a little bit of an attempt too far, but please overheat. 88 heat was not nearly as much as I needed on that one. Death Crusade can come on forward with the Gladiator. The Gladiator could potentially knock out that VTOL. So we'll shift on right over here. Could kill him. VTOL's exposed and ready to die. Kill the VTOL. Warrior is no more. Alright, so we have dealt with pretty much all the flyers at this point, which is helpful. That means they can't slip around behind me. They also will take a little less time to try and figure out their actions, because flyers are incredibly maneuverable, and the game can sometimes struggle with trying to figure out just what the right thing to do with such a maneuverable foe is. So you're pretty toasty, but now it's time for you to move. You have a chance of barbecuing yourself? That was actually a pretty good idea. Try and push my catapult back. In fact, I think both of my burner mechs are kind of on fire. Is that all you did? And your temperature is not under control? Or was that the catapult? We are on phase 20, so it's kind of everybody's game at the same time. Alright, I'd like to get a line of sight on a target without shooting my own friends. But it looks like the only target I'm going to get for this round is him. That's fine. We'll just core out the bandit. Good solid hits on the bandit, and that'll tear him apart. Fire Fist destroyed. He's got shoulders, arms, everything's out. Alright, 50% of the support lance is down, but really it's these these three heavy hitters up here. The vehicles are potentially dangerous, but it's not as bad as it was when the Nidhogs were still in the field and able to dump like 100 and something arrow of effect rockets on top of you, which meant your evasion and your ECM didn't mean anything. So killing that was very important. Ground Summoner is going to back up a little bit. Try and get his temperature under control. He's not quite there, though. So that's pretty good. So I might be able to rush on top of him and get a good cook. Drillson Heavy Hover Tank off on the side. Don't think he's going to have an angle, although he is equipped, I believe, with a large pulse laser. So that could be very dangerous. Some incoming long-range missiles. Not managing to connect with the Burner Boy, so we will continue to be able to rush on out of here. Jester.
What's up, boss?
Bring me the Warhammer. So our goal, stated and intention, is to probably hopefully kill this Mad Dog. I want the Mad Dog out of the fight. But that accuracy is trash. I'm gonna fire anyway. Did hit him with the large laser. Okay. So as we continue to push forward, I think I'm gonna need to take some time with the Warhammer and just kind of fully rebuild him. Right now, he doesn't really have any great sensors. He has a Guardian ECM, but I don't think he has an active probe, which he might... No, he does have a Beagle probe. So yeah, I don't know what's wrong with him. I think the sensors need to have a little bit of a modification, but he has struggled a little bit. Vulture coming on forward. Gonna open fire on the Warhammer. Nails us with the X-Pulse for a lot of damage, but he's spreading that damage out. And that is a bad life decision. Especially now that he spread it out even more. Okay, so he's going to shoot at everybody. Yeah, poor life decisions made there. He should have been focusing on one primary target instead of just trying to nick everybody. It's not like he's applying a status effect on everyone for haywire or something, so that's not really the most brilliant plan, I don't think. Okay, some more long-range mortar fire, which is basically just bombing himself, and I wholeheartedly approve of this strategy. I think that the more he continues to do that, the more accuracy he will, well, inevitably not need. Okay, the Condor is slipping off to the back. If he's got missiles, oh, were you applying an ECM field to them? Oh, that might have been a bad decision on your part. I don't know if I have enough power to torch him out. We're going to find out. A little bit of light fire onto the burner boy. We need to be careful. One of our arms is very vulnerable, and we have a lot of weaponry in that arm. Coach, you're up. Right, Coach is going to torch. I do have a target on the ground somewhere. I think I might be able to cook him. But that'll be pushing hard. How far am I from the water's edge? I might be able to make it. Yeah, I might be able to make that. Alright, so I'm going to push this grand somewhere. I'm going to see if I can't throw him over the heat threshold. The reason why is if I can cook him, which I did. Good, lovely. Now what I can do... What I can do now is try and cook out the Mad Dog. Thank God, okay. I got that under control. Mockingbird, your buddy has taken care of one of the more significant... Oh, never mind, you're the wrong one. You could go up there and just start blazing away with the pulse lasers. Do we know he's moving 18? When are we moving with our catapult? Our mini. There you go. 23 on Finn's catapult. Okay, so it's going to be next phase. Right, we're going to barbecue him. We're going to consider that taken care of. Or at least going to hope that that'll be taken care of. I kind of want to push the Gallant, but that's a good angle on the catapult to engage from. So my mini catapult versus his much larger catapult. Let's see if we can't manage to push him down. Could go for the mortar carrier. Oh, he's laying mines everywhere? Oh. That's significantly less survivable. Ooh, you have a large laser, an LRM-20, and a small pulse. That's an interesting loadout if I've ever seen one. Right, let's go streaks, LB-10 slug. Can I drill through that? Not happening. Holy crap, that armor. I'm going to need a torching mech. I can, however, kill you. Potentially, if you had actually managed to hit him. Well, I've made his indirect fire even less accurate, so maybe he'll kill himself some more, but I'm a little bit concerned about the incoming problems that we're about to have. Especially with my little catapult so close and so far forward. It makes me a tad worried. Yeah, catapult. Finn's catapult taking a little bit of fire. I think they've recognized the sheer threat that this thing is going to be. Assuming, of course, both of his missile launchers are ready to go. They are ready to go. Inferno rounds are up and ready. Sprint on forward. Give me the side angle for the additional accuracy. That will give me the right coverage. Sensor lock on top of that to try and build onto the target. Alright, 83%. We need enough to completely torch him from 0 to 100. Well, 0 to 200 and something. That'll be 185. That is not enough heat. But he is now unsteady, so I can probably apply a pretty significant amount of firepower onto him. So, Paradox, in your lament, can you please beat the ever-loving crap out of him? I kind of want to take him intact, but I'm not willing to risk it. So that's kind of the trade-off here. Oh, there he goes down. Yeah, he's lost a piece. Because he has some pretty nice weaponry. I mean, there's no getting around that. He does have some good guns.
Okay, I'm on it.
If I want them, I'm going to have to go through the center torso. Oh, no, his large X-Pulse is in the center torso. Right, so you've got the light autocannons on the shoulders. Right, I understand. 2165. How's the side torso? Good. Yeah, target this. And help you spread. Both legs. No, engine destruction. I had hope it wouldn't happen that way, but it did. Still, the large X-Pulse would have been an interesting robbery. I don't know how useful that would have been, but it would have been interesting. Oh, I have a target. Unfortunately, it's on the summoner that I'm trying to steal. I'm trying to rob that summoner. I think I can grab pretty much all of it. Slight mortar carrier, I'm a little bit surprised it's not dead. Drillson finally back on the field. That is very dangerous. Drillsons can do a lot of damage under the right circumstances. So I believe he's got a large laser, or a large pulse laser, but that might be even stronger. He might even have a Gauss rifle potentially, because these are heavy hover tanks, and they have a lot of strength in them. Although, like most hovers, they do suffer in terms of survivability, but other than that... Oh, did you drive over all the landmines? Yeah, you did. Okay, the Warhammer can come on forward. We'll just continue to stride on in there. You will see the Drillson. You probably won't have a good shot on the Drillson, but you'll see him. Silver gas standard route, yeah, fire. A little bit of light fire, and we have managed to expose the hull already. And yeah, you're not turning on. I've got you handled. I have made sure of it. And it looks like the Burner Boy is actually going to be able to run into the water, and if that's the case, he may actually be able to chill out in this round. So that'll be really, really helpful. Because this mech is kind of torching right now, and I really don't want it to explode. Light fire onto the catapult, scattering all over the place. Doesn't look like it's going to be anything with an added status effect, which is good. Oh, you hot-loaded that. That was a mistake. So his catapult, he's just hot-loaded, broke both of his, well, damaged both of his LRMs. He hasn't blown them up yet. If he hot-loads again, he could potentially break them. So I may end up just trying to kill him in that time. Although the Drillson might be more dangerous, because hot-loaded LRMs are limited utility. I'm really surprised that you survived. Had even one pulse of the large gone into one of those shoulders a little bit better, it would have been much, much better. Alright. He's improved to confident. You and I, sir, have very different ideas of what confident people should be like. Well, I suppose if you're gonna go, you may as well go smiling. Although, hopefully he'll bail. Yeah, Drillson dead. Removed from the equation. The triple ERPPC is just phenomenally strong. I mean, there's a reason why it exists. There's an awesome that is designed exactly like that. We are basically that awesome, except, 20 tons later. To be fair, we have access to a lot more equipment that sort of manages heat and controls the weight and tonnages. So I can't sort of slack off on the awesome too much about that, considering it was designed for the 3025 environment.
Receiving you.
Okay. Oh, you're under control temperature already? I love it.
Commander?
Alright, Mockingbird, you're going to slip in behind the galon. And we're just going to start getting to work. Because this is going to take some work. Hi. Just start.
This should be good.
We're going to have to do a lot of damage on this guy.
Confirm.
So, oh no, that was the other one. So, Coach's Burner Boy sprints into the water. What's your chance to explode right now? 27? No. Gotta jettison his SRM ammunition. I am not willing to risk that. So we're into the water, but apparently we're not chilling. Brace. That's what I was afraid of. But I'm very glad that I dumped the ammunition just in case. It was much too dangerous to attempt to risk that. Haha. Alright, so you can now move. Get to the line of sight. We must not walk through the fire. Yeah, show me the Grand Summoner.
Understood. Moving fast.
And we can cook. I think I may actually continue to cook. I'm a little bit sad that I'm on the shoulder side because this can hurt him a lot. But how much is my shutdown chance? 27? Yeah, that's not good. Kill out the one, see if we can't just get him under control. Come on, pilot, you want out of that mech.
Scored a critical hit.
Next round we'll be able to get behind him and we'll light him on all the fire that we've got. The Timberwolf does need to slip on, get a little bit of a range going on here. Can't exactly shoot him perfectly close.
Roger.
Slip over here, go for the Warlord on this one. And we're going to again target the back of the Galon, which we're about through half of his armor. So that's helpful. Fire.
Fire.
Okay, I think we've gotten through a pretty decent chunk on that one. Death Crusade and his Dangerous Gladiator can zip on up here. Minefield in the way. You know what? We're going to brave the minefield. It sucks, but we're going to do it. Landmines explode for 3. I mean, I can shoot at you in the face. But I kind of want to kill the mortar. I don't want to risk it, but... yeah, shoot the catapult. Twin, snub-nose PPCs. I was hoping that one of my missiles would actually scatter into the side of him and blow him up. He doesn't have much left in his truck. So, 23. Wow, that Gallant really books it. We're on 19 right now, which I believe... yeah, just Jester and the Warhammer. He's not going to be able to get into the back of this, although we've almost crunched through all of his armor. It took 2 full mechs to do it, firing everything they had.
Aye, aye.
And I'm really not certain that... yeah, Jester's not going to be able to quite make that angle.
Roger. Full speed.
So we're going to ignore it. We are going to target... actually, no. We're going to target you. And then you. Because that'll make it easier, because I'm just going to fire... like... do you have anything left? No. Alright, so I will fire... bravo, bravo, bravo. Yeah, that'll work.
Roger.
Then with a gas rifle, follow up with a couple of medium lasers. And then, there we go. Okay, so we've taken care of the truck.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
So now we're just working on this Grand Summoner, who is still too toasty to actually start up. Come on, man. Just bail out of your mech. You got no armor. You got no structure. All your friends are dead. Do you really want to challenge me on this? Gladiator getting shelled a little bit, but it's doing fine. We're taking care of things without too much trouble. We do have to kill this catapult. I mean, it is a full-on catapult. It's not... I don't think it's a mini catapult. Although I am a little bit worried because that catapult does have a line of sight in the burner boy, which makes life not particularly safe. How fast are you? You're 24? Right, so if I don't kill you in this round, you're going to get behind somebody and you're going to kill us. So we're going to run through the minefield. So that'll be another 20 damage because it's 10 per leg. That's the thing you always got to remember. One of the reasons I hate minefield so much. PVCs into the back, and that killed him. Okay, so we took out his galon, which was actually a fairly significant problem because we didn't have our flamer back ready. Then we can slip on in with our lovely amount of pulse. Hi, I bring all the large pulses, a gift from me to you. Some really solid hits on that one. Paradox.
What's up, boss?
Basically the same show. There are flames on the way. This is going to very negatively affect my heat control capabilities. But you know what? I can handle it. You know why? Because Warlord's ready to go. Oh, my heatsink hit is nominal. Yeah, that's going to be nominal for long. Warlord up, take control. Some of that heat and hit the catapult. Oh yeah, no more catapult. We've dealt with that one. Problem solved. Finn.
Yes, Commander.
Here, catapult 3 is going to shift in behind the target. And you're just basically going to unload absolutely every single inferno that you ever had. How's his center torso? Yeah, he doesn't. Aim for his collar. Don't cut. I hope that was just a pure engine destruction, not a center torso kill. Because I didn't shoot enough to do that. But I kind of figured it would be. Okay, coming over here. Hi, buddy. Ahoy, ahoy. Yeah, Gauss rifles taking care of all of that show. So I really hope that my work on that Grand Summoner did not go to waste. Because if it is, I'm going to be a little bit irritated. We'll move into the targets. I'm going to be able to pick on the dude, or the dudette actually in this case. And that'll be the end of the mission. Good job. Successes all around. Annihilated all targets on the field. I'm really, really hoping I'm getting all 5 parts of that Grand Summoner, because if not, then that will a little bit of a wasted effort. So we're going to have to look into how we can get some cash. We lost a little bit of money on that mission. The Warhammer and the Burner Boy took in some pretty nice damage. Why did you take center torso damage? Did we deal with some sort... There was no explosion. Must have been some tandem weapons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really? 4 of both types. That's disappointing on so many levels. We did say the large X-Pulse, which is pretty interesting. 80 damage for 55 heat for 7 tons. It's not as good as a Clan Large Heavy, because that's only 4 tons for basically the same thing. Snub-nosed PPCs are always nice pickups, and I don't really have any at the moment. Ultra Autocannon 5 Clans, I don't have any. I think we've been on the look for them recently. Clan Endo, I have none, which would be really solid to grab. I do want Clan Ks, or Clan Ks too, because I want to replace the Avatar with them. A pair of XL engines that I can sell, that might actually be a good solid pickup. How am I doing in exchangers? I have 2. Flak, I have none. Standard ferrofibrous, it's Clan ferrofibrous too. I already have one though. I'm not a huge fan of ultralight gyros because ultralight gyros have less stability threshold, which I believe is a huge weakness that is very, very difficult to overcome. How many sensor trackers are we sitting on? None. Same for slick suites? I have a slick suite. So there's that working for us. Machine gun, rack 10 caseless. I hate caseless ammo for the jam chance that it gives you. And a little bit of UAC ammo, which I have some tonnage on. So a little bit of an eclectic grab. We're not really going for mech parts because we can't get the mech. And that's really the only way that we kind of can afford to spend on those pieces of equipment. Although we could grab a mag shot. This is for pure cash selling. I'm not going to use these XL engines. We're going to make some money off of them. So we didn't get any mech parts, which is a little bit sad. There's a pirate dervish on the field? When? Oh, that was the bandit. Right, okay. AMS, useless. That's mostly useless. That's pretty good. Snub-nosed PPC. And we got a fusion core, which is worthless to us, and indirect, which is useless. We did get another ferrofibrous, which is good. So we've got enough to build some stuff. Honestly, not a very good haul on this one. So I took it mostly for the XL engine so I can sell them so I can actually make a little bit of cash and be able to afford next month's payments because, well, it's happening in 2 days and I've got a whole bunch of mechs that are about to come online soon. The Avatar, for one, is coming online in 2 days and I kind of want to be able to deploy it on something. So, or at least soon, because this Avatar I think will be pretty good. Although it does need a couple of modifications. One, the biggest one that I want to do to it is I want to pull out that normal case 2 and I want to put into clan case 2. That'll save me a full ton. I could do a lot of fun things with that. Most notably, I could put in armor, which we're going to need because it is a built-in XL engine. 86,000 for the next 8 days. It's a little bit of a rough pay. But like I said, we grabbed those XL engines for a reason, basically so we could get rid of all our problems. So we are very much in bankruptcy right now, although we have 2 days in order to make that not happen. So let's go on to the faction shop and check out to see what other people in our faction are doing. A couple of Shadowhawks, some more Dervish Pirates, and even Stalker parts if you happen to be in the market for that. Looking at some mostly useless guns. So nothing in the ballistic category is all that interesting. Small X-Pulse, nothing in the energy as well. Listen, kill MRMs. I've got 8 of them. I would like more because you never know when they're going to come in handy, but I'm really kind of skirting the bottom of the barrel at this moment in terms of being able to afford the company at all. So maybe we don't go that route. Heavy Pharaoh, such a jerker? Yeah, no. But what we can do is we can start selling stuff. And specifically what we're going to do is we're going to come over to our heat and engines. We're going to come over to those worthless XLs that we've got, because I've got a pair of clan XLs and those are the only XLs I'm going to use. That'll earn 600,000. That's not enough though, but we do have some small rated fusion cores. So we get rid of the 50, we get rid of the 60, we get rid of the 140, and really when I stop to think about it, am I ever going to use anything less than a 200 rated fusion core or less than a 250 rated fusion core? Not really. We've kind of moved away from that. So we can get rid of a couple of more cores. I think I'll sell everything up to the 240. That'll give me a little bit of spending cash should I need it, but that does allow us to sort of get back in on being able to afford anything at all. Case is, I'll get rid of some of it. I don't really need it, but it also doesn't give me a whole lot of cash for selling it. Com suites, composites. I don't know why I keep the composites. I'm never going to use it. I just don't view composites as being all that good. I also don't view the pirate jammer as being anything useful. It does have an interesting quirk in that you can't see it on here, but what it does do, if I bring this up, it gives -1 initiative to everybody within its range, but it's the only ECM that can be equipped. And it's not good. Like, it's really not good. So, as interesting as that effect is, it's not worth it. So we'll get rid of it. We've got a whole bunch of endosale. I'm going to get rid of, yeah, we'll get rid of 2. Gives a little bit of additional cash. Artemis 4 fire control systems, we don't use all that often, but I'm going to keep them because why not? Breaching cockpits, energy cockpits, fire control system, flak, improved fire control systems, indirect plus, missiles and standards, and more standards that I don't need. Sell most of these except for the one, just in case we happen to run into a random primitive mech that we decide we want to build up. If I run into like a Mackie and I want to fix everything, I can do that. We have a hatchet here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I have it. So we'll figure something out for it. May actually be able to build a melee mech now out of it because of that hatchet. So it's recon, basics, range, slick speed, spall liner, spiked. Yeah, not too terrible. So we're back above the threshold, so that'll allow us to get to the end of the month. Let's go check to see how bad the managed tasks is. Burner Boy is 2 days, which is actually kind of surprising to me. Gladiator is 3, which is also kind of surprising to me. I didn't think he took that much damage. Warhammer is 2 days. Lament, yeah, we're going to be able to just cycle through these in a couple of days. So we will let the end of the month hit with all of its cash that it charges us, which is quite painful, not to lie. We didn't get any mech parts, so we can't sell any mech parts. How long until that avatar gets on up here? You know what? The avatar is going to move to the top because I want to field it. I want to put that avatar onto the field. Uno, dos, stop. I think I have a couple of mechs that are damaged, that have internal damages. Oh, they don't. Okay, lovely. So show me our avatar. Twin Risk Rack 5s. That is something. I don't know how we're going to be able to handle it. I don't know if we're going to suffer from a recoil that we just can't take. But for now, this will be its configuration, and I will be very interested to see where it goes. Hopefully, we'll be able to turn this into something that's devastatingly dangerous. I'm really hoping that it works out. just to unload on the target. So how are we looking? Another 4 days to Kerensky's stick. You know what? Let's make sure Kerensky's stick is on the docket as well. Because we want to field everything. Mockingbird can read the art of assassination, which gives her assassin. But she loses 3,000 experience. That's okay. To pick up assassin, which gives you some pretty serious kill perks, I'm willing to do that. I'm more than willing to do that, honestly. You need probably even more. So it's a cheap upgrade, and it doesn't take that long. This is going to be a much more expensive upgrade, plus the additional of the control system, which is another fairly expensive upgrade. We're about 1.5 million Seables from getting that, so we may as well pick up the next set in the row, which will allow us to field even heavier mechs, because we're about to field Kerensky's stick in 1 day, 2 day. I am not going to show you what Kerensky's stick is currently equipped with. I'm not gonna spoil it, because what I've done with this mech I think is gonna work out really nicely. I think we've created something dangerous here. Can't wait to show it to you. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I have been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I post one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and make sure you join us for the streams on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 4 o'clock as we play through Apollo's Vipers, a clan start campaign where things have been going much differently. We have already our first assault mech rocking and rolling. In fact, the second generation of this first assault mech with 4 Gauss rifles for maximum pain. If that sounds at all interesting to you, then make sure you drop on by, and I will see you all in the next episode